Hey, this is Toxic Mike, owner of Toxic Radio and host of Deviant Gamer.
Hey, I'm the Fishman, general manager and program director for Toxic Radio and host of the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
We want to take a moment to wish you a kick-ass Christmas and say thanks for rocking out with us here at Toxic Radio. We hope you enjoy the content that we deliver on a daily basis and look forward to supplying your metal needs in the rockin' new year.
Hey, be sure to check out the Toxic Shop for awesome Christmas gift ideas featuring Deviant Gamer, the Heavy Metal Happy Hour, Red Band Underground, and Toxic Radio. Thank you again for your continued support, and as always, remember, don't play it safe,
Play it toxic.
Okay, who do we have logged in?
Bruce here. Jamal here.
So waiting on one more. Who's late? Ernest?
I'm here now, and it's Elliot.
Elliot, sorry.
Only worked here 6 years.
Okay, now that we have everyone logged in, let's get this meeting started. Bruce, what's the update on the reindeer?
Well, we've worked out the harnesses to give proper social distancing, but we ran into a little problem. Rudolph is so far ahead of the sleigh that if there's any fog, you're not going to be able to see his nose.
Can't see his nose? Well, how the hell am I supposed to navigate?
Well, we got you this GPS system to help with that.
GPS? You know I'm not so good with tech.
It's fine. You'll just tell it where you want to go, and it gives you the directions. Like this. GPS, navigate to Tallahassee, Florida.
I don't know that one.
GPS, navigate to Tallahassee, Florida.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Shit. Alright, we'll get this worked out in time. Don't worry.
Damn right you will.
Oh, and almost forgot, we have a substitution on the team. Donner tested positive for COVID. The updated roster's in your email.
Malik?
Yeah, the QC names went out in the 60s, Santa. Ethnic names are what's popular these days. Oh, and Rudolph has gone hip-hop. He's insisting everybody call him Little Snaz X.
Moving on. Jamal, what's our gift production status?
Well, we're about 12% behind. Some of the elves are still struggling with the switch from toys to hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Gonna be tight, but I think we're gonna meet the deadline as long as we have no more major spills.
Yes, please. That was ridiculous. The production floor smelled like lavender for 2 weeks.
Yeah, sorry about that. We fired the elf who added the scent. Everything is unscented now only.
Good thinking. Now, Ernie?
Elliot!
Jesus. Why the hell can't I get that right? You got a handle on the Toxic Radio gifts, right?
Of course. All I gotta do is get on toxicradio.net or use the app and go to the Toxic store and order. Things have picked up a bit since they added the Bleeding Edge, Taking It Deep, and Hungry for Hope gear, and people seem to love the new mugs, but I totally have this covered.
Excellent. Though I do have to let you know a bit of bad news. That with it being so easy to order from Toxic Radio and the seasonal downturn coming up soon, we're going to have to reduce staff. I'm very sorry, but we're going to have to let you go, Albert. Elliot, damn it. Elliot?
I think he lost connection. The internet out his way is total shit. You're probably gonna need to tell him again in person.
Oh shit, that's not going to go well. Bruce, you better alert security.
On it.
Grab kick-ass gear from the Toxic store anytime from toxicradio.net or on the app for the toxic fan in your life or yourself. It's easy, it's awesome, and use the code word ALLS to get yourself a sweet Christmas discount. Have yourself a toxic little Christmas.
Lay it off! What the hell, Santa? I'm gonna kick your fat ass!
Security!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It is that time of the week, your favorite time of the week, to take it deep, get off your knees, put on your headphones, and let's get to this. It is that time of the year. Ho, ho, ho. Merry, merry, deep Christmas to you all. And we got everybody in the building. Uncle Pat will be calling in later today on the back end of the show. And we have a lot of honorable mentions this week. Cuck of the week, mush of the week, and we might talk about your mom if we get to it. But she's a rather large subject. Maybe. Or maybe she's tiny. Who knows? But with all that being said, honorable mentions is on the plate, and a lot of you love the honorable mentions because, you know, isn't everything an honorable mention? Like if I talk about Mike, he's an honorable mention, I guess, right? So we're going to start some new segments in the future. I'm pretty sure Jamie will be on board with this idea. I want to start a segment called Mike Eats Stuff That Would Hurt Him.
I'm kind of liking the sound of that already.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to find stuff that's hot enough where Mike will regret eating it.
Now, I know he used to do stuff like that in the past, but...
Yeah. With a one-chip challenge, I almost bought him a ghost pepper donut today, but they were out of it because you fucking animals and savages out there are buying them and they're selling out. Who wants a ghost pepper donut? What is wrong with people?
Ghost pepper donut? Where did you find that at?
Dunkin' Donuts.
No way.
Right, it's true. Mike, do you know about this?
I don't think my microphone's on.
Really?
Is my microphone on? There we go. Now I can hear myself.
See, I told you I wasn't going to be perfect today.
He was almost perfect. Jamie was almost perfect. He's doing good with the new board and new equipment. But I have seen this ghost pepper donut. It looks amazing. It's got ghost pepper kind of like sugar sprinkles on it. I would eat it, but it's not keto.
Oh, here we go. The damn keto.
I will do the other challenges, even though I know that certain individuals don't like me to eat those challenges because it ends up with me keeled over in the middle of the night hating myself.
So what, are you like throwing up in a toilet or something?
No, I mean, no, it's not.
It's
not normally throwing up. More so, just excruciating stomach pain and sweating at 1 a.m. And then round
that sounds
two
kind of like COVID. Did you
and
it?
And then round two the next day when you have to go to the bathroom. So it's not a fun experience. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, we have
you
a
eat
volunteer
that kind of
for to try the ghost pepper donut. Alex will.
Jesus!
Oh, who?
Alex, the movie guy.
Oh, please do. Not only do it, but take pictures,
He has
take
been
video.
drafted. He's got. You know what? We're gonna have him on Vimeo. We're gonna have him on the VMix on air on video. Eat this ghost pepper donut.
Okay, that sounds
we
good.
want to see what the
I love
instant
it.
reaction is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put him to the side and until the reaction hits, we'll turn the camera back on.
I think that's a great idea. I love it.
We're gonna do that next week. Ghost pepper donut time. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I just don't you're in the marketing department. You're like, you know what? Let's do something different during Christmas time. One guy goes, yeah, let's do a peppermint bark donut. And then one guy's like, how about ghost pepper? Yeah, that's a great idea.
But it gets people with the shock factor. It gets people with the challenge factor. It's like the one Dorito challenge. It's like when what was it with the Burger King? They had the hot Whopper, the flaming Whopper, or something to that degree.
Oh yeah, that was.
Or you got this flaming Cheetos.
Flaming hot.
Flaming hot.
Flaming hot. Yep.
Flaming hot. Macaroni and cheese. All this crazy stuff. I mean, it's gone the gamut.
Hmm.
Now, I mean, if you do want to go down this road, Godfrey, like there is this site that I used to go to when we were in the old studio. I used to do these challenges all the time, and one of the challenge involved also. Now you're going down the hot road here, which if you go to this site, they do have stuff like dehydrated ghost peppers and stuff like that. But at this site called Meat Maniacs, they also have edible insects.
Wow.
They also have edible tarantulas, edible stink bugs, mole crickets. We can get a smorgasbord and see
You eat shit like that, though.
what the limit is that people can be pushed to.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get to a full-on turd on a piece of bread to get.
Here is the zebra tarantula in a can. I did eat that.
Wow.
Yes.
What the hell were you thinking?
So we through this site, which they are not a sponsor. I want to put that out there. But Edible Meat Maniacs, if you want to sponsor the show,
listening, you want to be sponsored.
yeah, if you want to sponsor the show, please do. I'm trying to. So I'm gonna file. Here we go. And they also have the gummy ghost pepper, which it's a delicious gummy with ghost peppers in it.
You know, I thought one of the best things was to give your dog a spicy sausage and watch them try to handle the heat back in the day.
What kind of spicy sausage are you giving the dog?
It's like an Italian spicy sausage, or it's a hot sausage, and you see them eating it.
Hot Italian.
And they're trying to eat it like, oh man, this is hot, but they just want the sausage so bad they just fucking like tough through it, and they're like, chew, chew, huff, huff, chew. I don't know. But you know, now I would feel bad, so I like the doggos. Can't do that to the dog. So
Yeah.
Another, this year.
Oh, wait, real fast. I'm sorry to stop you. It's your show, I know. But Alexander said he does draw the line at eating bugs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Guess we found his line.
Yeah.
Damn, I was really ordering up the tarantula for him right now. But okay. No tarantula for Alex. No problem. I understand. We have tons of honorable mentions like I was talking about. I noticed everybody is posting their 2020 music review. Like, this is what I listen to most on my Spotify, and all the services are jumping in on it. They're like, yeah, this is your 2020 music review. Like, it's a tax return, your bank account. Are people really interested in being like, that's what I listen to? Do you care?
Not at all.
Nope.
Not at all.
So, and because it's telling me stuff I already know. It told me my favorite band was Queens of the Stone Age, and it told me the song that I like to fuck to was that in the actual email from Google that says, make it with you. They didn't actually say that, but, there are certain songs that are better at screwing to. Like, I usually like to have sex to Ramenstein, Du Hast. Just kidding. Can you imagine that?
Actually, yeah, I think so.
You can imagine having sex to Ramenstein, Du Hast? Oof.
What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is.
Ramenstein?
Like, is that ramen noodles?
No, you never heard of them? Du Hast Mish, Ramenstein?
No, not even a little bit.
Jamie, you know who that is, right? Wow. That's like a metal German band, techno house.
Yeah.
You've never heard of them?
Metal German techno. None of that shit
It was
is
mainstream,
appealing
though.
to me.
It was mainstream. It
None of
was
that-
totally mainstream.
None of that appeals to me in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I'm out. I'd
So
rather
you've
go
never
eat
heard of
bugs in a corner.
So, nice. So, I think my auxiliary died. No, it didn't.
I like that that's what you use to test it.
I'm testing.
That's the sound that you, like, if you were like in an
Well,
actual...
that's the dirty burrito, and it has all kinds of bass and treble differences in it, so it can really go through the rainbow of the equalizer.
Do you think the audio engineers at Howard Stern, like, when they're trying to figure out if something's working, that's the sound clip they hit?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's
For
quite
his show,
with that
yeah,
show,
probably.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible. So, these 2020 music reviews lame, as we all agree. But I got a phone scam today, which was kind of interesting. Do you guys get like those random phone scams, or where it's like, oh, we're gonna shut down your social, or we're coming in your house? Now they've never said that, but it's like from a random number on the caller ID. And I'm going to play it for you guys off of my phone, right to the microphone, old school style, just so you can hear what I got. If it, actually shows up, and don't think it will, because it's a piece of crap. Nope, it's right here. Here we go. Prepared. So, it's right here. It's this new, I love the new Pixel, and because it screens your calls for you, it doesn't even ring it. Because this is the genuine gift I got to miss.
You have received this phone call from our department is to inform you that we just suspend your social security number because we found some suspicious activity. So if you want to know about this case, just press 1. Thank you.
So
Yeah, I've gotten those.
they just I love to fuck with them and call back like it was suspended. Okay, cool. And just take them through it, like just fuck with them.
Wait, you'll actually call back these people? Like,
I try. The numbers usually don't call back, but I will try, or I'll try to answer the phone like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, during the height of COVID, like I think it was the first spike, there was phone calls saying stay inside and all this, and people were getting freaked the fuck out over it because they didn't know what was going to go down because it was during the riots and COVID and all that kind of stuff. But each one of these are the same exact, where it's some kind of robotic voice saying it. It's not like creepy, but it's also annoying.
Well, first off, can you get your social suspended? I don't think so. You could get your credit frozen. I was like, oh, you suspended my social. Okay, cool. Right.
You can't get that shit.
Yeah,
suspended.
I'm like,
it's not a
so
thing.
it's probably a scam where they're going to try to go after old people, and then they're like, oh, I had to check it today. Here is my social security number. Check that for me. Thank you. Thank you for calling me and check that. Speaking of old people, I hate to pick on them. Another honorable mention here. Helping people with technology that are older or have no clue, or people who have no patience. That is something that is the bane of my existence. I remember I used to run a cell phone store years ago, and older people will come in and be like, so, Matt, I have a question. What can you tell me about this Wi-Fi? And I'm like, Wi-Fi? You mean Wi-Fi? You're like, yeah, the internet in the air. Things. So, what? It's just like, either they're really patient and they'll let you explain it to them, or people you try to help people. Like my girlfriend, if she's listening, she's probably gonna kill me for this. She swore she bought these Stray Beats headphones that they were not connecting to the Bluetooth on the TV. She swore up and down, and I knew in the back of my head because I have done retail with customer service and electronics that it would work when I got there. And she swore up and down. I tried to tell her how to do it over the phone. I said, just wait till I get there. I get there, and I got it connected in about a minute. She was waiting for me to do it. She handed me that, and she did, the look on her face of death and disgust and disappointment all rolled into one was shocking and highly entertaining at the same time. She was like, oh, whoo. It looked like Hogan almost, but, a lot prettier. And I was just like, whoa, calm down here. Calm down. It's not my fault. I just know how to work things properly. I wasn't having a user error. Because I would mess with her, be like, oh, it sounds like user error IT10T code. She's like, no, I've done this step by step. She brought the headphones to my house the weekend before, and I showed her how to put it in pairing mode. And I think it happens, to everybody where you're like trying to get something to work technology-wise, and you're either just tired or you're just missing one tiny little step, and you're like, fuck. And next thing you know, you're up till 4 a.m. trying to pair headphones. So, that's an honorable mention to me. But the old people with cell phones, really, I experienced that for about 6 years.
There's nothing worse in my mother's mind than when she's telling me that she's having some kind of issue, and the first thing I say is, I think this is user error. As soon as I say that, she just wants to lose her shit.
Loses her shit because they think you're fucking with them. And sometimes you are. But
sometimes, but 9 times out of 10, you're telling me that the phone automatically did something and you didn't do anything. That's not how phones work. You don't just do nothing and the phone stops working.
I got a beer compliment, by the way, on the chat.
You did.
I like to acknowledge that. Laura, thank you. You have great taste. Now, back to the show. So my girl, she's pretty good with technology, actually. So I think the cutoff really for that, area you're talking about, like talking to moms and stuff, is like 50 or higher. And you're like, they'll talk to you about their sons. I can't believe it's not doing this and it's not doing that. And you tell them how to do it. But like, I tried that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm like, oh, let's try it again. Pat, I love him. Uncle Pat, man. Oh, man. When we were trying to do the pandemic chronicles of Taking It Deep with the Godfrey, I tried to stab my eyeballs out with Chinese chopsticks several times. You guys didn't see it on air because I kind of just muted my video and it's like, oh, kill me now. Oh, kill me. Everybody goes through that, especially in this business. But man, oh man, you have to be a lion and just have patience like a lion. And but the technology portion of it, my favorite is I cannot get this Bluetooth to connect. It is broken. The car is broken. The phone is broken. I've dealt with that several times. You need to replace my whole radio because my phone will not connect. And I'm like, so do you think you're going to have your car for 6 years? Or do you think you're going to have your phone for 6 years? What is the odds of the car outlasting the phone? You're going to have a newer phone before you have a new car, right? Most people?
In most cases,
absolutely.
Yeah. So some people get that heated about it. Like, I need a new car. And I have seen where radios had to be replaced. I know of a radio that would not connect someone's Bluetooth because their girlfriend had an eggplant emoji saved in their contact information. The eggplant emoji was jamming, I swear to God. And it's funny, why was there an eggplant emoji in there? We know why. So, anyway, if I can't figure it out, I give it to Jeff, and he can't figure it out, he gets one of the teen kids to do it. Well, that's what people usually do. I get calls. I work in a place where there's a lot of guys that are over 50, and when they have I could hear them having like frustration with their computers, and I almost try to hide under the desk or run away because I know the next sentence will be, hey, Matt, can you come here real quick? And there's another kid next to me, his name's Matt, and he has the same pain, and we look at each other like, fuck me. So somehow we become the goddamn IT guys of the whole place. And I'm like, I'm not here to be an IT guy. I'm here to sell.
Yeah.
Thank you. And, we help them out of respect, but it's like, Jesus. My favorite is like, I can't get my computer to turn on. You walk over, push the power button, turns on automatically. Just like that.
It sometimes is for people like you, or people that are technologically savvy, to have to to be the tech support for everybody, it comes so easy for people that are tech savvy. And you're just wondering why everybody. It's like they haven't slept next to the bean pod and accepted technology as their savior yet.
Yes.
And it bothers all of us.
Yeah, just accept it. Conform, bitch. Conform. Because you know what? I know a lot of people like that, or I used to. I used to know. We all had those friends when cell phones become more prevalent. I'll never have a cell phone. They don't need to know where I am. You can wait until I get home to the landline phone to talk to me, motherfucker. Now those same people are on their phone like crack. Oh, what happened? You know, and they can't put it down. Uncle Pat was the same way. When I first met Pat, he had a flip keyboard Samsung phone, non-smartphone. And he was like, I don't need anything else. Now, he can't live without it.
Right.
And I actually set his passwords for him, and I won't say what I said it, but let's just say it's... The fun thing is when you set a password for someone, and it's making fun of them because they have to type it in every time. Like, I suck ass 59, you know.
But there were all those people, like, during that time with the keyboards on their phones, with the Blackberries and everything, that when Apple came out, they're like, it doesn't even have a keyboard. Why would I need that? That thing isn't going to last long. It's gonna nosedive. And
I need a typewriter for a text message.
How about Sony's PlayStation phone? Did you see one of those?
Oh yeah, I remember that phone, the PS Vita, or was it? Is that what it was called?
No, it was an actual Sony Ericsson.
I remember that.
They made a game phone.
Yeah.
No, but the PS Vita, not the PS Vita. There was a. Oh my God, I can't remember. There was a phone that was actually a phone. It was by Nokia. Oh, let me see if I can find
Engage.
This. Engage.
That's
yes.
It,
yeah.
The Engage.
That's the one.
That's the one here. Oh my God, I'm having flashbacks.
Those things are so primitive, but back in the day, they were the shit.
Oh, they were the absolute shit.
They were a shitty phone, though.
I don't remember if it was a shitty phone. I just remember
that looks like a vibrator with an LCD screen.
I just remember it had the directional pad. I remember it had the thing for music because you could load your music up to it, and you could play games on it.
Remember how primitive MP3 players were and how like painstaking it was to use, and then Apple was like, "Well, we'll change all this and make it easy."
God!
I had one made by Dell, called a Dell DJ.
Yeah, right now it's probably propping up a coffee table in your room.
No, actually, it's still hooked up to my computer. Believe it or not.
Holy shit! What do you have, a Pentium 1 processor?
No.
So. Not to get nerdy, so we're rifling through. So speaking of technology, I kind of resisted the Alexa and Google products and other things that could control your lights and stuff, and I'm on board now. I'm using them. The other night I was playing with certain settings, turn my lights on, turn my lights off. I'm totally on board now. But my question is, why do they have to sell it to you like a drug dealer? They're like,
what do you mean?
So I'll give you an example. The Amazon Alexa plugs are usually like $25, so they'll send you a message on your phone. If you order it through Alexa and tell her to add it to your cart, we'll give it to you for $4.99. So I got one for $4.99. That's how they got me. And then after I did that, they sent me a smart light bulb for 99 cents. That's usually $9.99. So they're like, here, take a little bit of crack. Sniff it a little bit, smoke it, play around with it, see if you like it.
Just
because they're hoping I buy like a whole bunch of them, and they almost got me. But I'm gonna wait it out and see if they send me another one for free. I even had Google randomly send me a Google Home Mini for free, right? And I'm not complaining. I use it for music and stuff, so I have all these products in my house. But the question is, why do they want to do it? I know why they want to do it, because data is worth more than oil these days, literally. So they want to be able to sell your data to tell advertisers, hey, this is how you target them. Not saying that's wrong. That's a different conversation. However, I don't want them recording my sex because they could. I don't know if you noticed they've been sued for that. So what do we do to prevent that if we want to take part of this technology, right? So how do you know how to control it and who's listening to you and when? So smart speakers are listening to you. In order to work, they have to. Think about that.
Well, wait a second. So first off, I know that's another discussion to go down that road of whether or not you give a shit about these things listening to you. But I just recently, oh Jesus Christ, I can't find it. Amazon just came out with a sports watch, kind of like Fitbit, that actually tracks your steps and everything else. I stopped wearing it because it didn't have enough features for me. But one of the cool features of this watch that you can enable is that it always listens to what you're saying and will tell you if you came off offensive, angry, intense, sad, happy,
Can you
elated.
tell the watch to go fuck itself?
So the whole time you have the
I would.
microphone on, it's listening to everything you're saying. So during your day-to-day conversations, you can look after you had a conversation with somebody and see how your voice and the tone of your voice projecting may have come off.
I don't
to
know.
that
If
person.
some people might not be ready for that reality.
I did it. Here's what I noticed. And Mom, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I noticed on my drive home,
You're a cock to your mom.
I came off very intense and at some points angry with my mother. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then, like, Laura would look at it after I was having a conversation with her. And, like, if any point I came off like something, she'd be like, I didn't think you did that. But it made her second think the conversation.
Hey, let me
Because
tell
of
you
how
something.
the watch told me I was coming off to her.
I've heard a number of
tell
conversations
you if
between
your
you
poop
and your
is
mother.
violent?
I don't need a watch to tell me how you reacted.
Is it going to tell you if your bowel movement was good or not?
No, but it is weird that now here's the thing. When I tell people that, when I'm telling them I'm wearing a watch that's always listening to what I'm saying, it freaked them out. They didn't want to talk to me.
I mean, I get why it freaks people out. It's the unknown, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So, I mean, they have to listen to you because you got to give them a verbal cue like, hey, Google or Alexa or Siri. My phone's trying to wake up now. Shut up, bitch. All right, so the devices wake up and they record your request, etc., etc. But they may not understand what you're saying or may activate accidentally. Like if you say it's slurred, like, hey, blah, 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 they're like, oh, I'll play Jefferson Starship for you. But like, what? That's not what I asked. I wanted you to set my alarm. So the thing is there are mute buttons on the Echo, and I know you can do that, and it's something I would pay attention to. So your data may be used in other ways, but you can minimize your exposure, right? And that's what we want to do here. So there's ways to do it. You know, the privacy control you can use is how the devices collect and use your data in other ways. Google says it may use interactions with Google Assistant to target ads for you, for instance. You'll have to check your privacy settings and turn that off. Meanwhile, Amazon hasn't been shy about its plans to create a virtual assistant that runs many aspects of its users' lives. So it would have to know and learn a lot about its user to be able to do. But what freaked me out is there has been lawsuits where they have been forced to, you can download audio that might have captured of you. And I'm going to try to download that audio tonight to see if I can find that because, you know, I don't want it recording me having sex. I'm just saying. Because there's one next to my bed. Now, the other thing is a lot of them have cameras. And I always kind of snicker to myself when I see people put tape over their camera on their computer. Because that basically means you're saying like you're jerking off or playing with yourself on your computer and you don't want anybody to see it. Because otherwise,
it says you're up to no good in some way, shape, or form.
Why do you care otherwise? So I laugh about it. Plus, you have your cell phone, which they can, you know, kind of look at you all the time anyway through if they want to. So you're a little late to the game. That's just like what people wanted to cover the Kinect with that little rubber shield for the Xbox. I'm like, okay, is that what you think that's going to save you from it? No, you can't watch you anywhere else. And it's a secret government installation. So they want to hear you because they want to, you know, Amazon wants to turn your whole neighborhood into a smart neighborhood. Like even the Ring camera, like they say, do you want to join the community to, you know, watch each other's back through the Ring app? And it's kind of a backwards way to make more money, which is fine. But I don't know. I do want the option to be in and out. So they could do it, but I want to be able to say no if I want to say no. AI will rule us all one day, probably. But that's why I'm going to find out where the batteries are at and take them out. No, I'm just joking. I don't think it's that easy, but yeah, Elon Musk said it's too late for that, so it is going to happen, and he's probably right. So enjoy the ride, buckle up, right? But you know, Amazon has a thing called Amazon Sidewalk. It's a mysterious free feature coming into Echoes, Rings, and any other device using its Sidewalk Bridge umbrella. Sidewalk uses Bluetooth or radio frequencies to connect all of your devices to each other to any other Sidewalk Bridge devices in the vicinity. Your neighbor's Echo, for instance, turning your smart home into a smart neighborhood, as I was talking about, will extend your range from your own devices beyond your home Wi-Fi and keep you connected through your neighborhood's Wi-Fi if yours goes down. Interesting. It also means Amazon is getting uninterrupted and expanded feed of your data. Amazon says this could allow people to use security cameras that exceed their home Wi-Fi range or lost pets. Here's my thing about data. If they're going to get data through our web surfing, I think this might happen, and it should happen. I think internet should become free. I'm serious.
I doubt it'll happen, but I like the idea.
I think it can happen. I mean, look at the companies, how they're reshaping themselves that own the pipe, so to speak, who provide the internet service. They're all, like Comcast has NBC, Peacock, a lot of these cable companies are affiliated with that. And if they can get you to pipe up over all the information, it could happen. Think about it.
I highly doubt it, but if the way that it's going to happen is, they've got to be making money on so many other things that require internet. The services that they supply other than internet have to be so good and making them so much money that it benefits them to have internet service provided to every household, because every household then can sign up for that service that's going to make them more money.
Let me ask you a question, though, with the Sidewalk app that I brought up. Do you think it's right for them to send you an opt-out, and if you don't get it, they opt you in?
Huh?
The Sidewalk thing I just
right.
about.
I think you kind of...
Yeah, is that right? So it says, another major concern among privacy advocates is that Sidewalk is opt-out, with a notice going to the Echo users, tens of millions of them, to let them know that their devices would be added to the Sidewalk network unless they went into the privacy settings on their Alexa Ring apps and turned it off. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that should be allowed. I think that's deceptive.
No, I think I'm with you on that one. I don't like it either.
I think that's deceptive. I think they should have you if they want that access, just like if we did a TV broadcast and we put someone's face, they have to sign a form saying we're allowed to do that. Correct, Mike?
Yes.
So they should have to do the same thing. There should be a signed document, whether it's an e-signature or a physical signature. And if you can't get that, you're not allowed.
Thumbprint.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Right.
To me, it shouldn't be that easy.
Yeah.
Because you are making money off it, which is fine. You're offering a service, but it shouldn't be like serving someone court papers. Like, you try to serve it to them and they run off the lawn. Well, you're served, right? Like, it's not the same. You can't do that. Like, I just think that's wrong, and that should be something that people should be. I'm not saying run from the technology, but you can't automatically opt people in, because I can't do a TV broadcast and just put anybody's fucking face on there because I'll get sued. Should be the same standard.
Absolutely. You can't automatically just make a decision for somebody.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
And that's wrong, because they're trying to push the engine of profit without getting consent. And where I have a problem with targeted advertising, and we'll talk about that in another little segment right after this, is when the person doesn't know it's coming, they can't really react to it. That's not right. And that will bring me to that. So that pretty wraps up our honorable mentions of the week. And wanted to bring up, a deceptive marketing practice since we're on it, and it kind of could affect kids or you. And I didn't get to talk about this last week. Talked to Mike about it. EA Sports hit with FIFA 21, that's for the soccer game, scripting lawsuit for dictating outcomes. Now, in short, without getting too technical, what they're doing is dictating the outcomes of games, so you have to pay for the Ultimate Team and pay for packs to better your team. Have you heard about this, Mike?
I tried to follow with what you were saying, but I'm actually not following.
So the lawsuit was brought against Electronic Arts to a California court by 3 FIFA 21 gamers.
Right.
In the suit, they claim EA Sports uses deceptive practices and false advertising to drive sales in their Football Ultimate Team mode, the FUT mode. The lawsuit suggests EA willingly and unlawfully tricks FIFA players into buying Ultimate Team loot boxes by utilizing artificial intelligence technologies that adjust game difficulty dynamically. As mentioned, this is known as scripting by fans.
Yes. Okay, so they're looking for any means necessary to get people that are playing to buy these loot boxes, because that's how they're going to make extra money.
But, you shouldn't be – it's almost like fixing a professional sports game.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to do that to drive that. And this is the type of shit you got to watch out for. Because, listen, just like we were talking about the internet becoming free, video games, I think, are almost going to be free for a small fee, because...
Well, with cloud gaming, yeah.
Yeah, the future is buying stuff past the game at this point. Before it was just buying the game, boom, you're done. Now they're saying, like, wait a second, if we give them the game for free, the revenue stream could quadruple, quintuple.
The revenue stream that continues for weeks, months, years afterwards can continue. I mean, I was just talking on my show about Grand Theft Auto 5, which is still killing it on the charts in terms of online play because they continue to sell in-game items. The thing is, the in-game items that are being sold, these microtransactions, do not in any way, shape, or form impact gameplay in terms of making you better or worse. It's supposed to be all cosmetic, whereas it's skins or rooms or cars or something to that extent.
And, of course, EA denies this, right?
Of course.
But, that's where it's key, what you're saying. That's supposed to happen, what you're saying, but they allege that it's not. So it's going to be interesting how this works out. But earlier this year, EA hit an all-time high in FIFA microtransactions. The company made nearly $1 billion through in-game sales alone in September through September to December 2019. A slice of this was used then to lure David Beckham into an exclusive $40 million rights deal. So that's just one game for them. And that's a huge one because soccer has more of an international appeal where it's not as big in the States. But they do. I'm pretty sure they've done it with Madden. I'm pretty sure if they could prove this, it will open a Pandora's box. I don't do the Ultimate Team packs. I like to create myself or play or whatever, not to get into that. But some people do. And, I feel like it's targeting young kids because this kind of stuff started on phones. And then it was tied to billing. And then the cell phone companies got in trouble. Like, well, who's responsible for this? Then it went to video games. So interesting. And I call that a deceptive practice, in my opinion. If it turns out to be true, let's let it go through the law. But it almost makes me think of, remember when you were younger, you play video games, like, I know they're cheating. I don't want them to look at my controller through the screen when you were younger. But this is an example of them actually cheating, maybe making you lose a game so you buy more. That is insane to me that it's gotten to that level with the greed. They're going to make money. Like video game companies like that print money. Why do something like that? Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more.
It's crazy. So, yeah. So, keep an eye out for your kids out there because, your kids might be farming your kids. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. Something to bring up, and I guess we could call that an honorable mention. But so we have our Cuck of the Week candidate, and I thought this was interesting. We're talking a lot about video. I feel like I'm stealing Deviant Gamer's thunder here. But when is that on, by the way?
Deviant Gamer is on. We go live broadcast every Friday at 7 p.m. till 8, and you can go listen to the latest episode everywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, video games are a big discussion during the Christmas season, and with the two new consoles coming out, they're even bigger of a discussion this year, more so than ever, which only happens once every 6-7 years for a new console.
For a new console, yeah, because most of the time with today's technology, it's all updated through firmware and patch updates. Yeah. So you get, and then they roll out the Xbox S and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, right now is huge for video game sales.
So this Cuck of the Week paid $900 for a PS5 on eBay and claims he received a concrete block instead. That's right, folks. This was in Orem, Utah. The man thought he managed to obtain one of the sought-after consoles by paying well above retail value, $900. First of all, that's what you get for letting scalpers win, because they fucked you twice. But rather than getting the console after winning the eBay listing, the 38-year-old, and he was 38, tisk, tisk, tisk. Yeah, he struck out on this one. Claimed he received a PS5 box containing a chunk of concrete. So this guy probably bought one playing at home and he sold it. Here's a little tip. During the holidays, try not to buy from someone that's selling for the first time on eBay and confirm with them as a buyer, maybe converse back and forth before you make it or buy it. Because if it's true, it usually probably is. Meaning, like, if you see someone selling an Xbox for $500 on eBay, and that's where you get it in the store, it's probably a scam. Because you're obviously going to pay attention to that more, and you're going to be a cuck just like this guy going like, oh my God, I hope I got the $500 Xbox that people are selling for four times the amount. Oh, I can't wait till it comes in. And this guy was doing the same thing. He's like, oh man, 900. They're selling for 15. Oh my God, I got it. I won. Ah. That's what's happening. Yeah, so he's stroking himself. That's what he said. That was his reaction. He was doing a little whoa. and he got a little hard on for it. So the police department says it expects the man to get his money back through the eBay buyer protections, which he probably will. But the disappointment is priceless because you can't put a value on that. And while the PS5 normally costs $499, lack of supply, as you guys know, a strong demand has led to this product being inflated. And, it just is a bad thing. eBay recently issued a warning to con artists selling photos of PS5s rather than the consoles themselves. Misleading product listings such as these often only reveal in the item description that successful buyers will receive a photo rather than a product. So people are buying it out there. And in the product description, it says you're going to receive a photo of the PS5 for $500. A photo. That's fucked up. I wouldn't, you know what? If that happened to me, I wouldn't tell anybody. I would get my money back, and I wouldn't tell them that it said that you would get a photo because they'd be like, well, how come you didn't read the description?
I don't think anybody wants to admit to that in any way, shape, or form to anyone.
So, they'll get their money back, but first off, how much did it cost to ship that goddamn concrete block? That has to be heavier than the PS5, right?
Oh, it's based on weight, so yeah, it's going to be quite much more than it would normally be.
Yeah. So this guy is our cuck of the week. I don't know his name. He didn't want to release it. I wonder why, because he's probably feeling a little embarrassed. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
Yes. So he is our cuck of the week. And that's just kind of what happens. So we do have a candidate for mush of the week as well, folks. And you're gonna laugh at this, and it is centered around video games again. And some of you people might say I'm a little insensitive for this, but this guy's a little bastard. So a 6-year-old Call of Duty player banned live. He was banned on the live stream. That's right. One of Call of Duty's youngest players and biggest stars gets banned from Warzone Live on the stream, leading to an outpouring of support from fans. While the Call of Duty franchise is usually aimed at an older audience, yeah, right, that has never stopped younger players from enjoying the games. One 6-year-old Call of Duty player, can you imagine getting your ass handed to you by a 6-year-old? Yeah, bitch.
I don't have to imagine it has happened.
Yeah, I just stabbed you in your neck. How's that feel, bitch? Die. And he teabags you, like on Halo. Remember getting teabagged on Halo after you die?
Yes. Yes.
Mike's been teabagged a lot. So, boasted some incredible skills for his age, showing off his Call of Duty skills. Warzone skills in streams and videos until a sudden ban occurred live on stream. Going by the name Rowdy Rogan on the streaming platform Twitch, the young gamer has amassed 84,000 followers. I should bend the knee to him because I don't have 80,000 followers. With 118,000 on YouTube, I should bend both knees now. On top of that, so known for his cuteness on top of his oppressive gameplay, seeing the 6-year-old dominate in Call of Duty, Warzone lobbies has become a solid source of entertainment for many. However, fans of the incredibly young player retreated to a sad sight on December 9th as Rowdy was banned on live stream. While there have been numerous high-profile Twitch bans as of late, the website is actually not to blame for the unfortunate incident. The ban was carried out in Call of Duty Warzone itself, with Rowdy Rogan being told that his account is permanently banned. Wow. Down the toilet. While the young player does not understand the issue right away, the reaction of his father and the chat room led to the realization setting in. As a result, the Call of Duty prodigy begins to cry, hugging his father and sobbing to his arms. We have video of it, but it's too sad. The clip is incredibly sad to watch, and with the player's father saying, "This has to be a mistake and we'll get it back," the situation could change soon. Based on all the support, with even FaZe member Swag responding to the clip of the ban announcement, a lot of players would clearly like to see the Call of Duty Warzone streamer back online. With a free Hogan hashtag posted alongside the clip, fans have been making their voices heard about a reversal of unexpected bans. While Activision has yet to share their logic behind the ban, it is likely has to do with the player's age. While Call of Duty Warzone bans usually deal with hackers and exploiters, any violation of terms of service can cause issue, with players needing to be at least 13 years of age to play. That's right, folks. He needs to be 13, and he's 6. So, Warzone, Rogan is technically breaking the rules, and he is only half of that. So I don't, if that's the rules they put out there, unfortunately, you're going to have to go play Plants vs. Zombies, kid. So, if enough mean-spirited players reported Rowdy Rogan for being too young and breaking terms of service, so they're saying that he whooped their ass and And he got reported. That's hilarious.
Oh, God.
It is entirely possible that Activision banned the player without looking too far into the situation. As of now, it's unclear how Rowdy Rogan will do following his ban. While the recently released Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War could provide a different form of COD gameplay, the younger gamer may just wait until his parents' fans have done all they can to get an account back. So here's the thing. He's the mush of the week. So he mushed it by being sick. Sorry, kid. You're too young. You're a mush. And it may be harsh, but if you have a heroin addict's reaction to having the game taken away, it might have been time to just have him step away from it. I don't know. Am I wrong here, Mike? Mr. Gamer?
I mean, we're looking at a picture of him here in the studio. That's a cute little kid, but that is a recipe for disaster to have those kind of meltdowns over video games. This kid's going to grow up.
He's a Dr. Phil candidate real soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Oh, he's going to be beyond Dr. Phil.
Or the big overgrown dude from the World of Warcraft South Park episode. Definitely. But I'll tell you what. I know I can't play in the World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, because this kid would whoop my ass over and over again and then squat on my face, and I don't want that.
Not figuratively speaking, not literally. We don't support that kind of action here at Toxic Radio, even though we don't play it safe. We play toxic.
We do.
You like that? How I fit that in? And if guys,
you fit it right, it slid right in.
No pun intended. If you want to listen to the show, you know where to find us. Google Take It Deep. I'm not going to go through all the sites, but we are on all the usual places you love to party with the Godfrey. And speaking of Alexa, if you go to Alexa, go, hey, Alexa, I want to listen to Taking It Deep. I guarantee it will come up, and you'll be nicely surprised. So, with that being said, he is our mush of the week, and then we're going to get into the football. I'm waiting for Uncle Pat to call, but something tells me he's taking a Spaniard-style siesta right now, and I'm going to have to move on with him. In about a minute. So we're going to take over under bets right now. Will Pat call in? Will he make it in? Will he call it in? I'm going to put the odds at 5-1 that he does and 1-5 that he doesn't. I could be wrong. Hold on. So we're not going to talk a ton of football this week. I'm going to keep it to Eagles talk because I talked to some of my listeners out there, and they like to talk about the Eagles, and that's because a lot of you from this area. Like I said, if you want to talk about some other football teams at the tail end of the show, you can absolutely do that. And you can, drop me a line. THEEGODFREY. I'm on iTunes. Hey, Pat, what's up? Call that number.
I love that. I love that we give them the call on air. I'm sure that somewhere, somehow, a late night host had to do that with somebody who was supposed to call into their studio as well.
Sometimes it's about the result and not the actual technique, and I think he's going to be calling in any second. Little does he know. So, in case you guys want to call in, 856-485-9565 here at Toxic Radio, and you can listen to all the shows on toxicradio.net. And on top of that, what you can do is subscribe to my podcast. Sharing is caring, and give the page a like. So, we have Mr. Pat, Mr. Uncle Pat, and if this mouse would ever wake up. Oh, look, it woke up. Pat, you on air?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. So, we're gonna talk about a couple upset picks, but first, as I promised a lot of people, we're gonna get into the state of the Eagles. Wentz was benched. I do feel that was the right move, even though I am a fan of a rookie quarterback sitting a whole year. My question for you is, how do you feel about the move, Uncle Pat?
I feel the same way.
You felt like it was the right move at this point?
Well, I think it was really done for maybe a couple reasons. See what it has. Maybe it squelched the fan base screaming that they want it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could be right there. My take on it is I think it was the right move because I think there's nothing wrong with benching a quarterback. McNabb was benched in 2008, and sometimes it's an effective move. Sometimes it's good to get people out of a pattern where they keep failing over and over again. I don't think it's completely Carson's fault, but I still think there's things that are absolutely his fault. And They either can't coach it out of him or they're not coaching him right in general. Either way, it's going to be a means to the end as far as the answer goes at the end of the season, in my opinion. And I do think that Carson Wentz has regressed. I do think the team has regressed. However, you had to do it just to see. And I think one of the motives is I think it's Howie and Doug or one of them trying to save their ass by justifying drafting this kid in the second round when you just signed a guy to a multi-year contract that is very, very expensive. If I'm the owner, I'm like, well, why didn't you wait for the guy to play out his fifth-year option if you were that unsure to draft a quarterback in the second round? When did you have this thought if that was the motivation?
Well, you know, if you want to go back that far as the contract, I thought it was a mistake for them to give him the 5-year contract then without really knowing. Again, he's been... Yeah, he hasn't been the Carson we've seen since his first injury.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but he
hasn't been the
definitely
same
not
either way.
first.
Whatever the reason is, the results haven't been the same, right? So, and I agree. At the time, I understood why they do it, but at the same time, you could have him at least go through the 4th year and then the 5th year, and then if he proves worthy, you re-sign him again. But they did it early, and then you would say, well, did they do it to make him feel comfortable? Well, they certainly didn't draft another quarterback to make him feel comfortable. So once you make this move...
Well, you know, by giving him that money then, you didn't have the money to put any other weapons around him, get a chance to see him more. I mean, that was the whole reason for that in the first place. There was a lot of teams making bad rookie contracts before that rule came in, and it was to keep the level of play high, to give the team really the scope they need to see fully what they were going to potentially spend $100+ million on.
Right. Well, yeah, and I
thought that was a mistake.
I agree 100%. You know, in that regard, I understand why they did it, but if you're going to do that, you better make damn sure you're going to be right. And I just haven't seen the coaching staff all the way up to the front office be good at getting young players in, developing them, or drafting the right players. I don't know if it's lack of development, but if you look at Doug Peterson, even when he had Nick Foles in after the Super Bowl, they're both seasons where they had to play catch-up toward the end. And it seems like the team isn't prepared all the time. And I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about last year and the year before that.
Yeah, well, we spoke about it before. I haven't seen the Eagles put in 4 quarters in,
first half,
in a couple years.
The first half is trash usually for them, right? I mean,
yeah,
and
exactly.
And that usually points to a bad game plan. So, you know, my problem is I don't think this kid's going to light the world up. I do get why you're going to see what you have, right? But they're not saying it's a permanent benching. But when you make that move, that is a road that you're going down that you're not going to be able to return from. So, Eagles are going to have a lot of questions in the offseason. Obviously, I think that at this point they might finish dead last in the division. I think there's a really good chance that they might not win another game the whole season. And that brings us to, Pat, the Eagles game this Sunday. You know, our listeners out there, most of them are Eagles fans. Some aren't. If you have a question about your team and you're not, throw it at me, and I'm well-versed in all of the teams in the NFL. But I will tell you that the Eagles game, they're underdogs, and I hear some people saying they might keep it close, and I'm saying poppycock. I don't think so. They're 6.5-point underdogs at home. What do you think about that, Pat?
I think they get killed.
Yeah,
I think they get killed. I mean, you know, I do like the unknown factor that a player being put in without any tape on him could be an advantage regarding like their ability and things that you need to prepare for. You don't have any tape on this kid except for college.
It's going to take some large waivos to bet on the Eagles to win. It's a plus 262, but the spread's minus 6.5. I suspect that spread to go up by the time the game sets off. What do you think?
Yes, it should go up before the game. I mean, it's probably more like at
8.5.
8.5.
Yeah,
points.
I mean, I think it should be higher than it is now, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like, oh God, I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a saying that goes, you know, the line's something. It's quite low for New Orleans with at least in the last 3 games.
Well, they're using
really
their backup. They're using
fantastic.
Their backup, and New Orleans over the past 2 years when Drew Brees has been injured is undefeated with their backup quarterback. Literally 8-0. Something like that.
Amazing, isn't it? I mean, and that's a good team.
That's a good system. That's a good coach. They're good at developing people, right? Something that the Eagles are missing. The Eagles seem lost.
The Eagles had it at one point. They haven't had it since. I mean, it really comes together with Carson being it's either definitely Carson or it's definitely the fact that they don't have the offensive schemes to make him be relevant, give him his best shot.
Let me ask you.
He's definitely isn't as mobile as he was before. He used to be able to get out of a situation and be able to make a complete play.
Let me ask you this. So, withstanding the Super Bowl, which coach do you think Doug Peterson is more of akin to? Ray Rhodes or Rich Kotite right now?
Oh, neither.
So he's not that bad yet.
Rich Kotite is... No.
Now, Ray Rhodes won a division and a playoff game, so he wasn't horrible the whole time. You know, and he was the coach.
You know, I've met Coach Rhodes before, and he's actually a little guy.
Yeah. So
a lot smaller than you would think, but there was really just not a lot of good quality football in the Eagles with either one of those guys.
Yeah, toward the end it was bad. Rich Kotite, and somehow he got another job with the Jets. And all I can say as Eagle fans is, at least we're not Jets fans. That's all I could say, because that's worse.
The funny thing is, the owner said, you know, I'm hiring him because I want to win now. Like he really believed in them that much.
Yeah.
I mean, guy must interview well.
Right? He sounded like a jerk-off, though. So, speaking of jerk-off moves, the Steelers decided to upset everybody's bet and lose to the Redskins last week. The Redskins beat them. Everybody was talking about them going undefeated, and Larry Zonka tweeted a picture of him celebrating them getting their first loss of the season because, the Dolphins team that went undefeated is always watching that, and they always celebrate when someone loses. Good for them. But now, I was on the Bills going to beat the Steelers this week of the season, like way back. Like, then they did it last year in Pittsburgh, although Roethlisberger wasn't playing. The Bills are in Buffalo 9-3. The Steelers are 11-1. The Bills were underdogs, and probably before the Steelers lost a game at 2.5 at home. Now they're 2-point favorites. So I was going to pick this as an upset, but it's no longer an upset because they're favored. But I would take the Bills. So I don't know how you feel about that game.
Yeah, I like the Bills. I mean, the Bills have played good the last 3 games, and Pittsburgh played weaker and weaker until they actually had a loss. I mean, the 2 weeks before that, they weren't really playing well.
Yeah, what's going on with them is they have a couple injuries on defense, and they're not running the ball as well as they usually do during the year. Poor guard play is bringing pressure up the middle on Ben Roethlisberger, and you could be the fastest guy on earth. Pressure up the middle will stop any quarterback and stifle your run game if you're not going to the edges with your run game, and Pittsburgh does like to run the ball up the middle. And I think they're missing that from their offense right now. They have a ton of talented receivers. So I think they're ripe for the picking. And Buffalo continues to surprise me. I didn't think they would go travel to play San Francisco, even though it wasn't in San Fran, it was in Arizona, and be victorious like they did. But they had a decisive victory. Wasn't even close. And they are showing me that they are growing as a team. And they could be they can't beat the Chiefs, but they will win the division for sure. There's no doubt about that. And they'll probably clinch it with a 10th win, I would think. And with a... New England Patriots lost this week, but and that would be tonight. But my upset pick, and me and you were talking about this. Baltimore versus Cleveland. I believe that's a Monday Night Football game, if I'm not mistaken. I think. By the way, the Bills Steelers got flexed, I believe, till Sunday Night Football, so that's a great Sunday Night Football game. And Ravens Browns.
Dallas got flexed to a 1:00 game,
which they should, because who wants to they're a putrid team this year too. No one wants to see the Bengals and the fucking Cowboys on Sunday night. So, good job, NFL.
It's just funny that the Cowboys and the Eagles are such behind. The beginning of the season, you would have thought that Washington and the Giants had no shot, now ahead of the Eagles and I told you a month ago.
You think Giants? I say
from their
Redskins.
division.
I say Redskins. But we'll see. They're going to play each other. I believe. Don't they play each other this week? They don't. I think they play each other next week, if I'm not mistaken. The Giants and the Redskins. So we'll talk about that next week. But I like the Browns, who are 2.5-point underdogs at home, to beat the Ravens. Now, I've always thought they would split the series. The Ravens smoked them in the beginning part of the season. Last year, when the Browns weren't as good, they smoked them like 40-8 in Baltimore. This is in Cleveland. I think the Browns win this game, and they're only plus 110 on the money line, which isn't exciting, but you get 2.5 points, and usually you get 3 points for just being the home team. They're 9-3. Ravens are 7-5, and interesting thing, Pat, I picked the Browns to win this division. They still can, because if they win here and then they play Pittsburgh and they beat them, they might win the division, because then Pittsburgh has a couple tough games left against them, the Indianapolis Colts. They could go on back into the playoffs.
I mean, they really caught a wave of positivity. The belief in yourself as a team is a huge factor, and really doesn't show in point spread. I look for belief in a team's belief in themselves quite often when you're looking at maybe a 3-point difference in points, but one team's got belief and the other one's kind of like there, but they're just not playing like gangbusters, as the term would be.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Baltimore, I love Jackson. Lamar Jackson might be my favorite player last year, and I still love the guy. But they're what, 7-5?
Yeah, well, teams are starting to figure him out, but he had a really good game last week. I do think that Myles Garrett is a really good defensive player this year, and he could help them out in that game versus the Ravens. But I think the Browns are going to be really good at running the ball. They got a two-headed running monster and in that backfield, and I think they could control the clock and correctly use play action against Baltimore and maybe keep pace with them and run it down their throats. So
they're 9-3, right?
Yep.
So you got
and they decisively beat the Titans last week.
Playing a 7-5 and getting points
and
at home.
They dropped about, I think it was 31 first-half points on the Titans last week. So they played the Titans and decisively beat them, which is another decent team. That's a contender in the AFC. They decisively beat them, and
yeah, but they're not playing like they did last year. Well,
they're 8-4 though. Titans are 8-4. Well, let me ask you about tonight's game, because I know you mentioned this, and this will be, we're going to sign off after this. For those who are into football like we are, Patriots in LA on the road. You're saying you like them as an upset. I like the Rams personally, but it's a 40.
No, I like New England in this game.
Okay, they're plus 190.
I think last week might be a vision of them finally getting a come together as a team and really get the use of Cam Newton the way that they.
He only had 69 yards passing, though, man. You got to pass the ball too. That's tough. So, but you could be right.
That guy's a monster.
You could be right. I mean, they got 45 points last week with 69 yards passing, which is pretty impressive, although it would be against the Chargers. I just think Belichick is that great of a coach, and that goes to show you he doesn't have a lot on that team this year, but he's still able to put together a 6-6 record, and that's why I look at a guy like Doug Peterson for the Eagles, and he doesn't have a lot either, so to speak, but I feel like he has more on that team than the Patriots do, and this is what he's able to do for the Eagles at 3-8-1, and I just don't. I think
New England doesn't live and die with their fucking players like the Eagles have.
Yeah, the Eagles have made bad contracts, and I just think that, a lot of Eagles fans think a tweak here or there will fix this team. A starting quarterback change, this change, and it's not. This team is really bad to the core. And
I just hope this kid's a really good player.
I hope he's the next Russell Wilson. I hope he's the next Russell Wilson. That would be great. I want to be wrong. I don't see it, but again, couldn't tell you that Russell Wilson was going to be a star coming out of college either. So I don't watch college football.
You don't know desire. You don't know how college is going to translate into the NFL.
And that's why I don't watch college football, because it doesn't translate a lot of times, even with your high-level college players. So, But he could be the next Russell Wilson. I would be phenomenal. I would take that all day as an Eagles fan. However, I don't think so. Not yet.
Who's the best player on the Rams team? Because you can count on Belichick trying to neutralize that player.
Well, their best
let the
player is
rest
a
of the
defensive
team
player,
play.
which will
Who's
neutralize.
the best player on the Rams?
On the offensive team?
Yeah.
I'm going to say their best player is probably Robert Woods, which is a receiver. So he's probably going to take him out. That will be easy as a shutdown corner, and they're probably going to try to shut down the running game. So I think the Rams are going to win.
They're going to try to make them play, with the weaknesses, not the strengths.
Yeah, but I think the Rams defense is going to shut down the Patriots, and that's my thing. So if I'm taking this game, I'm taking the Rams with the 4.5 points that they're going to cover, in my opinion.
Oh, no. Yeah, not me. I think New England wins outright.
Well, we agree to disagree. So that is all this week, folks. Uncle Pat calling in. You guys stay safe out there because, COVID is a white hot Cheeto right now, and a hot Cheeto. And be safe, be wise.
COVID is like being outdoors and not knowing. They're like invisible bullets coming at you. You don't know where the fuck they're coming from, but you can be hit.
Be safe, be wise, and measured in your decisions. But that is all for today, folks. Thanks for calling in, Uncle Pat. Thanks for listening, folks. And you know where to find me. And if you want to subscribe, sharing is Karen, THEEGODFREY, The Godfrey. You can get at me on social media, Instagram, etc. And if you want to listen to the show or you have any questions, want to drop me a line, tell me how much you love it or hate it, feel free. Other than that, this is E. Godfrey Knight saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.